The Mojave Desert can be a place of extremes. It is the driest desert in North America and is located southwest of the United States, primarily within the southernmost regions of California, Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. It occupies a total of 47,000 square miles, over 124,000 kilometers. And in this very small region, we also have extreme temperatures, weathers, fauna, and flora. Welcome to Desert Gardens. In this region, we not only find the beautiful Perry's agave, located and spread out through the desert, but we also encounter Perry's Prestonmont, a wild red and green ethereal creature that springs up throughout the desert, giving it color and light. The artichoke agave thrills us with its red, prickly spines, beautiful as they scrape the sky. Each petal caressing the delicate interiors of this desert beautiful bloom. The buffalo berry hybrid is more unkempt and sprouty. Its soft green tones enhance its surroundings. And it's off to the desert cactuses that spread out everywhere with their prickly thorns. These too come in all varieties, shapes, and sizes. The creeping Mahonia is a plant that you wouldn't expect in these arid desert conditions. But this plant flourishes anywhere there's a soft spring. Even a man-made spring in the middle of the desert. We continue our journey after that desert oasis with the red trailing ice plant. We drift slowly over another golden desert cactus. Careful now, those thorns are sharp. The Nashville Mohe is in a class by itself, like a wild haircut gone out of control. This plant won't let us trim it down. It feels right at home in this red rock desert terrain, growing right next to the Engelmann prickly pear. As we explore through cathedral columns, we find many different species clinging to the walls of these statues looming upward. It's back to the oasis to find grasses growing out of the streams and pools. A moment to relax and catch the reflection of the noonday sun. The strawberry hedgehog is a little sprout. If you don't watch out, it will catch the bottom of your foot. Don't get fooled by its name. White bunny ears are just as prickly. Although you might get tempted to pet its cousin, cinnamon bunny ears. The garden desert spoon has nothing to its name. You don't want to stick this in your mouth or in your cereal. One of my favorites, the ocotillo, or the prickly bush. Long, with spikes everywhere. Watch your clothing. They will get snagged. Perky Sue and stern Coyote Bush are welcome blooms in the Mojave. The pink globe mallow is more extravagant in its bloom. It spreads itself over the desert canvas, showing off its beauty. Trying to compete with beauty, the giant saguaro towers above the landscape. At a whopping 2 meters, this giant cactus is a sight to see. Not so giant is this Argentine cactus, an oxymoron to its name compared to El Saguaro. The ocotillo is another tall, prickly bush. Its long slenderness will try to reach out and bite you. The Joshua tree has a story of its own. When pioneers were settling, they saw its tall branches reaching up to heaven and named it after the prophet that reached to heaven. Reaching over the purple prickly pear, we found the cow's tongue prickly pear. Don't let it reach out and lick you. The beaver-tailed prickly pear has shorter spines, but don't let that trick you. One brush against this cactus will leave you with a skin full of prickly rash. The dinner plate cactus, named because it looks like its individual parts are many dinner plates. Of course, you wouldn't want to eat out of a plate like this. Ah, look at this. Teddy Bear Chola is an argonaut of prickleness. Cuddly enough, you wouldn't want to squeeze it. The Indian fig cactus. And the golden barrel cactus, round and beautiful. The fishhook barrel, named for its hooks. I don't think I could catch a marlin with one of these. The claret cup cactus, with a little leaf falling on top of its prickles. The blue palo verde is a gorgeous, gorgeous desert tree, breathtaking in beauty. It climbs with its soft fern leaves. You can catch a little nap under this if you find one in the desert somewhere. The Spanish bayonet will conquistador your heart. After its name, it looks like the end of a barrel of a rifle or a bayonet. The claret cup cactus, Another stout but short creature. Ouch. Our walk through the desert takes us to cinnamon bunny ears again. We've seen these before, but maybe not up close. Ah, but we still haven't met its cousin, yellow bunny ears. The desert is a great place for the agave americana. This plant retains its moisture year-round and is a great source for animals and wildlife. The Durango Delight is a hippie that forgot its haircut. It is a delight to see. In its natural environment, the autumn glowgrass is not naturally cut down. But here we see it, ready to burst into action. Somebody gave this one a bowl cut. Here's another look at the cutleaf Texas sage. Another variety is the Russian sage. A little less leafy, it looks more at home in the desert. What a treat! Blackberry ice coral bells. Purple and beautiful. Wherever there's a little trickle, a little runoff, these flourish. And we run into a companion nearby, a little desert frog. Now we're sure there must be some water nearby. It's hopping by this Texas mountain laurel with its green leaves. There's not much rain in the Mojave Desert, but this coral rainy lily sure enjoys it when there is. This region receives less than 12 inches of rain a year, and each rainfall may be as little as 0.2 inches. Here we have a look at another wondrous specimen, the creeping Mahonia, exhilarating. The Texas mountain laurel is a tree-like shrubbery, green as any plant you'd find under not so harsh conditions. Another look at the creeping Mahonia. Now you might say you found heaven if you run across this one. It's Spanish lavender, and its scent is quite delicious. The firecracker penstemon is another species that does quite well in the rainy season. The little leaf ash is a small variety of trees. Springs upward with several stems. Autumn globegrass is named because of its fiery, dry stems, especially during the dry and autumn season. Arizona ash are a variety that shed its leaves when water and moisture is unavailable. You will only see leaves on this specimen during the rainy season. Dragon stonecrop catch fire easily and may be the reason for wildfires in the desert. The silverfellas are also very dry. Here we have another contrast with the creeping Mahonia. They're in bloom, but you don't want to eat those berries. It's back to the non-wet region of the desert. And another look at the Joshua tree. Faxon yucca springs out. Its tentacles uncoil from its stems and leafy branches. These are the landscapes and the flora you will find here in the Mojave Desert, one of the driest regions on the planet. Where there are extremes, you can still find desert beauty in desert gardens.